Malaysia Productivity Corporation. Allow me to introduce my secretariat. This is Encik Sus. Sus is actually the senior manager of the MPC, specifically in charge of the technical working group for financial services and digital economy. We cover digital economy. Putri is also one of the officers here in MPC, and then I have my researcher Hani, alright, and then Adrian is the Secretary General of Malaysia Digital Chamber of Commerce. I think you have met him in some of the association events. I think most of you know my name, Chris. Let me narrate to you what is Pemudah. As you can see, we are pasukan tugas khas Pemudah Cara Perniagaan. English stands for the National Task Force for the Ease of Doing Business. So Pemudah is not new. It has been set up in the year 2004 when Pak Lah was the Prime Minister. The objective of Pemudah is actually to gather the private sectors to have a platform. It's the highest platform in the country between the private sectors and the government on complaints on legislation or business regulation that is not in favor of the business. Okay, so in the past, when chicken price went up to 12 ringgit, we were the one who facilitated to bring it down to 8 ringgit. So Menteri, Minister will make announcement, but the one that do the job is actually them lah. So then a lot of contractor complain that they cannot get working permit, or I would say approval to start work on time for construction, 6 months, 8 months. So Pemudah facilitate, so we bring it down to 2 months. Right? Then there were complaints from the association, Aerospace Association. Aerospace Association. So some of the members need to fly drones to take the aerial pictures. So the Aviation Commission needs them to apply 3 months in advance. But who can give 3 months plan in advance? Right? So from 3 months, we brought it down to 2 weeks. So our role is actually to facilitate the private sectors so that it will ease you to do business. So that's our role, to cut bureaucratic red tapes. Very importantly, is to cut bureaucratic red tapes to make it as simple as possible. That is why in the year 2016-17, Malaysia were ranked among the 2016-17, Malaysia were ranked among the top 10 or 11 for the ease of doing business. The country that has the most easiest regulation to do business. And that time, if you remember, SSM approval was only 2 days or 3 days. And then opening bank account was 3 days or so. Remember those days? So that was Pemudah job. So I came into Pemudah in the year 2021 under the appointment of Yang Berhormat Mustafa Muhammad. I served under him as a minister. At the time, he appointed me, and then right now I serve under Rafizi. So nationwide, we only have 12 private sectors members. So myself, which is in the financial sector, which we cover digital economy as well. Initially, we were set up as digital economy, but because of World Bank criteria, we have to change name to financial services, but we still cover digital economy. And then we have Tan Sri Sharifah, who covers food security. And then we have Dr. Chua from the Malaysia Audit Association, which covers taxation. So all those e-invoice issue, corporate tax issue, GST refund, all under his purview. And then we have the Malaysia Employee Federation, which covers human resources. All the HR law, whatever is under them actually. And then the issue with HRD Corp recently was also covered by them actually. In fact, the one that wrote the paper about HRD Corp on the levy was me actually. So I wrote the paper to object HRD Corp blanket of taking the unused levy. So I wrote the paper and then I bring up to the technical working group for human resource. So Karen know lah, I'm a very effective opposition sector. Then we have the Malaysia Architect Association. I forgot what's the name, but they are in the construction sector. Dr. Jimmy. So we have a lot, and then we have Tan Sri So from Federation Malaysia Manufacturer. which is for manufacturing issues. Manufacturing issues is a lot of AP issues, import-export permit issues. So we shorten up the period. Now, for example, some of the issue, I read the paper, some of the issue falls under them actually. So we have to cut across sectors to work together. And then we have KSU sitting with us as well. All the technical working group, the other co-chair, I'm not the chairman, I'm the co-chair of financial services. So the other people that sit as a co-chair is all the KSU. So for example, Dr. Lokman Hakim Ali, which is the KSU of Agriculture and Food Security Ministry. He sits in the technical working group with Tan Sri Sharifah for the food security. And then we have the Minister of Finance, the KSP, Dr. Johan Mahmud Merakan. So he overlooked the financial services. And then we have the Public Services Department, Dr. Sri Wan Ahmad Dalan. He sits as a co-chair in the construction services. Of course, the three co-chairs for the Pemudah is actually Ketua Setiausaha Negara, the new Ketua Setiausaha Negara, Datuk Sri Samsul. The previous one was Tan Sri Zuki. And then we have Rafizi. And then the other one from the private sector is Datuk Dira Ami Maidin from Maidin Muhammad. So it's a very high level public-private working partnership where the private sector, like you, bring the complaint to me. I would then have to go through the papers, structure it properly, bring it to KSN, bring it to the private sector first. So the 12 committee members agree, then we bring it to KSN, then we will bring to Rafizi. So that's how it works. So why am I giving you a lot of this background? Is because some of your issues, we go through it later, are valid. For example, before we go through, some of the issues are valid, but some of it are a bit grayish area. For example, as a platform provider, I'm Shopee or Lazada, alright? It's up to me to set a commission. And it's a very free market. If today I want to set 20%, you want to come, you come. If you want to come, it's okay one. Well, I set is what we call it private market force. Willing buyer, willing seller. So the government cannot compel a platform provider to say you give 1% because it's market force. Alright? Just another example, we have 6 e-banking licenses. Their interest rate is 1.5%. So one is 18 then. If you're happy with the 18 because you cannot take loan from public bank, because you cannot see CRI, see TOS, then you're happy with that. Right? But you're not happy with that, you can take from public bank, then you go to public bank. Public bank will give you personal financing rate 7%, 8%. But you're not happy with that, you go to the e-banking licenses, 18%. So that is market force. That is something that the government cannot come in and force, but we can have a very respectful discussion between both parties on how we can come to a middle point. But the other complaints that you have, which when I saw your paper, is about the courier services. So MCMC have already said providers like you can use your own courier services, which I believe, this is personal belief, which I believe that platform providers should actually allow you to do it. So it's a mix and match. So I want to set the tone right for today's discussion so that we know where we can force to be done. We know where we can force it to be done. And we know where it cannot force to be done, but we have a very adult discussion to go through it with them. So that we don't seem like using this platform as an opposition. So we must know where to do it. I asked Adrian to join because Carol has been talking to Adrian. This is sideline before we go to the paper. Carol has been talking to Adrian because of the e-invoicing issue. Most of you are e-commerce low sankaki, so you are not properly grouped under an umbrella, right? One of the mandate, although it's not compulsory, is that this kind of complaint should come from the association. But because Carol is part of MDCC for many years, so I said, okay, let's do this. But we encourage you to be our members so that you have any complaints, you bring straight to SG or bring straight to me, we facilitate straight away. So MDCC is a gateway to the government, not only through Pemudah, but to many, many agencies. Through MDCC and Pemudah, we bridge through Bank Negara, we talk to SC, we even talk to MCMC. And even I have a member who is in the wellness business, medical clinic, but they are members. Member of the service lah, not gonna complain mah. So we talk to MOH. I think you can ask Putri or Sus. Whenever MOH see our email for Pemudah, they are not respond to us. Because until today, they have not liberalized the application. For people who want to apply for a medical clinic license, we call it ACC, Ambulatory Care Center, have to go through 4 processes. And every process is about 6 months. It's about 6 months. So I have a poor member. She used to be rich, but after that she became poor. She had to rent a shop in Mid Valley, ground floor. You know, ground floor boulevard, how much it costs? 25k, 30k. She had to rent for 6 months. Alright? Just to get the ID design. Cannot open and do business, but rent first. So you imagine 25k times 6 months, how much? You do the max. So she ran 6 months, cannot do business. She had to do the design, whatever, then call KKM people to come. As usual, KKM, very bureaucratic. 5 months, 6 months later, they come. Then they say, they see already, okay lah, tahap 1 lepas. Tahap 1 lepas. But still cannot berniaga, no? Still cannot berniaga. So now going for second application process in order to get ambulatory care center. If you cannot imagine what is ACC, you go to Mediveron Clinic, alright? They have a consultation room. Behind there got the emergency room where let's say you fall down, you need to do minor operation. That is called ACC center lah. So it probably take 1.5 years to get approval lah. So then the owner say, Chris, can nega lah? You can cover me lah. They ask this question lah. I know it's recorded lah. So I say, pandai-pandai lah. Pandai-pandai lah. So but we facilitate. Sus actually spoke to MOH, KKM Center for the licensing. So this is the challenges that we face to liberalize the licensing processes. So it's not easy. But obviously KKM knows that we are talking to them already. They know that the bottleneck is them. They also dare not kacau the jungle. Not that they are protected by us. No, I don't mean that. It's because they know where is the red tape is. So that's what we MDCC do. That's what we Pemudah do. I sit in this position because I am MDCC. So you can say I'm half private sector, half public sector about that. So that is the benefit of joining an association which is associated with Pemudah. We will actually assist you to facilitate this kind of legislation issue, licensing issue. Alright? So I think that after you get to know Adrian, alright, or go to mdcc.org.my, the membership form is there. Alright? And it's inexpensive, it's not expensive. But for Carol, I did for her today.
Right, no, my boy, I don't need. I got the MDCC.
Okay, that's the introduction for me. Maybe I'll go through one round, you all introduce yourself.
Yeah.
And then we can go through the paper. Maybe we start from there.
Christy.
From MPC. Actually, I'm responsible with, as what Chris said, I'm from technical working group for financial services, but also we are responsible for the Pemudah Secretariat. That is the secretary is us, me, Putri, and other staff from MPC also. And for your information, previous on the early year, we are set up for the what they call New Deal for Business. That is for how to change all the rules and regulation for the businesses. But now, just a month before, it's called for Siap Niaga. That is also the same as New Deal for Business. But now after Prime Minister giving speech on the MAPA punya persidangan last week, MAPA yang persidangan persidangan penjawab awam yang dekat Perjayaan itu, PSCC, Civil Servant. So dia pun dah mention dekat dalam persidangan tu yang siap niaga ni, dia tak mention siap niaga, dia sebut intizam. Intizam ni adalah satu combination of siap niaga and also what is for rakyat punya benefit lah daripada intizam tu nanti. So kita actually kita expect for launching dia punya dokumen tu is early October. Tapi ada
November lah.
So mungkin kita ajak ke November sebab tengok PM punya availability lah. So nanti kat sana tu nanti you akan dengar mostly macam mega shift of what government trying to do to help the businesses untuk mostly more kepada legislation, regulation apa-apa semua tu lah.
Easing of doing business.
Ease of doing business apa semua. So yang tu nanti tunggulah dulu dalam mungkin bulan 11 kita akan keluar dokumen tu, nanti all boleh tengok. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Sus. If you have read the news report, the New Deal for Business, the entire document was written by the team but we gave a lot of input so that's why they're busy with that. So that is what MPC does, Productivity Corporation. Alright, maybe somebody can present the paper.
Control. Okay. Encourage you to be an association because I cannot speak on your behalf. You are business owners. I have nothing in MDEC, but luckily MDEC has my back to support this. So we did this because we want to highlight some of your problems, some of the issues that you raised. Some of you have already seen these slides, and then introduction of e-invoicing that some of you may be. Who is implementing this year? Or all next year? You all this year? Next year. So most of you next year, right? So we go to the next slide. Putri kan namanya? Thank you, Putri. So we know that a lot of you has gone to e-commerce, but we know some of you just gone to e-commerce during only the lockdown, during the pandemic. I know some of who they are, but the rest of you, some of are very, very otai. I would say you're senior, you're more than 8 years. I think the more otai is myself, more than 20 years already in e-commerce, but now in MDEC. So we want to tell you all the challenges that you all have to voice here, and we put these challenges onto this slide. Next slide. So it's about your commission, alright? When I read this, there were a lot of fees, but when Chris says that I will share this slide also later to the group, if you all are in the group chat, right? Because I just added YK have no access to this slide. Got charges, got courier charges, will be sole prop and mom, and then when the e-invoicing starts, everybody will be affected next year. Okay, transportation cost. There was one time, I'm also a seller in Shopee, but my sales are not as high as you all. I think I got one sale only 1 month. Okay, so it's about adding your own shipping if you can, but now it's all tied to partners of logistic companies to the platform. I don't know about Lazada, I don't know about a lot of Shopee, but majority of you are having these issues more to Shopee or more to Lazada? Shopee? Or Lazada?
I don't do Lazada.
Oh, so maybe do Lazada.
My seller do, so I don't do.
Okay. So it's on a very prominent platform lah. TikTok? No issue at the moment.
TikTok is more towards my Korea. They all closed down in my area.
They closed down your area? JNT. Or they got the logistics nearby?
I have to drive 1 hour to drop off.
Okay. 1 hour?
Yeah.
Oh, so you are very lucky to have a fulfillment nearby you. Some of them are far, some of them have a fulfillment on the spot. Also, we have that as well. And we have also a rows where 15 days, no reason return. So these are the return that I'm also shocked as a Shopee seller. No reason also they can return to you within 15 days. So you all have to voice out recommendation afterwards. And invasion of poor quality products, especially fake products, especially unauthorized sellers selling your product. We have people who are selling electronic products, not even Sirim approved. So these are voices already issued long time ago, but never have resolution. Even counterfeit as well. And we have sellers. I invited one perfume seller here where she had a lot of fake sellers. Disandra was supposed to come today, but she didn't reply to my message. Yeah, Carol said drop online. So I said, can you come to this meeting? And after that, never replied to me. So she has a lot of fake sellers until she had to go through a lot of process to alert Lazada and by email, by letter, by meeting with legal and all. But still, Shopee and Lazada still. People maybe got fake sellers also. Ada tak? Ada kan? So go to the next slide.
In fact, I want to respond. I respond line by line. These fake sellers are nothing new. We have engaged custom already. I myself have met the custom director general at the Pemudah platform. This issue was brought up by another technical working group. So custom has actually engaged Shopee and engaged Lazada many times. In fact, Lazada and Shopee were in a meeting. After we bring up the whole 2 weeks, you see all those whatever fake brand all suddenly disappear.
But they told me lah.
Tapi lepas tu 2 bulan kemudian it comes up again.
Yeah.
So is It's more of this issue is more. Hani tolong ambil catat, Putri catat sekali. This issue is more of their internal, bukan processes, internal compliance. It's more of Shopee and Lazada internal compliance, which we have mentioned before. So Putri, recommendation dekat custom, kita buat recommendation dalam paper kita. Kalau custom tangkap lagi sekali, terus saman. Bila saman kau-kau dengan Shopee dengan Lazada, dia takut. Bila kena saman tu RM50,000, RM100,000, dia akan takut. Lepas tu dia akan pantau lagi. Dia akan pantau sebab bila dia bagi warning je, dia buat tak ada lah. Dia buat macam tu je lah. But if kena saman, you see lah all this reseller, kalau kena saman RM5,000 je semua takut. So the same thing lah. So enforcement lah. I think it's the enforcement from custom side.
Any more?
This 3.5 plus 8 or 8% for?
It's the sum of the, it's an average like that. There are higher ones.
So the base is 3.5%.
Yep.
Transaction.
And then what is 8% and then the
Commission.
4? No, there's a
This one
3.5.
is
Oh,
four.
sorry.
Is transaction.
It's a typo.
Typo, 8%. If you use the 4.
So it's 3.5% plus 8% lah.
8.4%.
8.4.
On average, it's 50%.
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
TikTok
Add together.
15, I think.
Yeah.
TikTok
Lazada
berapa?
is like Shopee.
Yeah.
TikTok berapa?
TikTok around 13 lah.
13
Yeah, Lazada is 50 also.
Yeah.
On average.
So average is about starting from 3.5% to
Yeah.
8% can go as high as 13%.
But different
15.
category.
Different category.
Different. Because I think electronics are different.
Fashion, for people we cannot around 21%.
16 on electronics.
This one FMCG, FH.
Fashion,
Outdated already.
16 also.
10.5.
Not enough.
Electronics should be lower, yeah.
Yeah.
So the middle point is, Putri, middle point tu, they cannot raise their selling price sebab dia ada fake item dekat platform.
Yeah.
Dia boleh raise selling price, tapi pasal ada fake item, dia tak boleh nak raise selling price. So dia berbalik pada enforcement lah. Recommendation pada seller is to raise their selling price to be on par with the market because they are original material
Yeah.
Okay, tapi dia tak boleh sebab ada fake item. So dia berbalik pada bukan isu dia. So I can conclude this, correct me if I'm wrong to all the members here of the meeting. You can actually raise the selling price,
Yeah.
but you choose not to because you are unable to do it due to the fake items. Am I right or wrong? Or you cannot accept that margin, that commission.
I think partially correct. Sorry,
Yeah.
I think partially correct due to the fake items, but because like I'm selling laptops, for example, our laptops margins, like imagine they charge us 15%. My margin, I don't even make 15%. So now I have to raise the price, which is higher than the RRP, recommended retail price. I think everyone agrees that, right? So at the end of the day, people go to retail market. Then at the long end, then you will see nobody is selling laptop anymore.
So
Even like PlayStation.
Okay. So the recommendation is the tier has to be based on industries.
Yes.
It is based on industry now, and yet it's way high.
We are all here because we are doing
Hani,
e-commerce. Yeah.
lepas ni you work with them to come up with the percentage for the recommended percentage for the industry. So bila kita buat penambahbaikan paper tu, each of the percentage is based on the recommended industry before we go and talk to the platform lah.
Yeah.
Market, you have something to say?
I think the fake product should be a separate issue because regardless of the selling price, there shouldn't be fake products.
Yeah. And also one more thing, I have noticed a lot of overseas items such as condoms. For condoms, we need two things, KKM and also CE mark. When they come,
sorry?
CE mark.
Who's that?
Or C-mark.
Yeah, CE mark. Okay, so now for me, I want to apply for CE mark. It's 700,000 ringgit.
One
Yeah.
time? Over SOU?
Over across 2 years for certification, CE mark only. Yeah, so it's just for the condoms. When the overseas product come in, no need CE mark, no need KKM.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah, yeah.
Those condom which I come across, I
Yeah.
saw it in KK Mart.
KK mark.
KK Mart.
Yeah.
A lot of different brands.
Yes.
Right? I go KK Mart middle night because I want to buy liquor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So but I saw a lot of different brands. The most popular one is the
Durex.
Durex. Those are
Yes.
very popular
Yeah.
brand. There's two popular brands, Durex and But those coming from China, whatever,
Okay,
they got CE
for
mark.
KKM, there's no condom from China. But on Lazada and Shopee, there is.
But how about those in KK mark?
KK Mark, that one I raised through MRC, lah, so to be fair to everyone.
Those one?
Okay, so for example, Durex, right, they come from Thailand, but they adhere to all the certification here. So that means they also pay 100,000. My issue is the one that didn't pay 100,000.
I'm asking KK mark first. I got
KK
reason
Mark,
why.
yeah.
Those brands that I have never seen before, do they have CE mark?
Yes, they all have.
They all have.
Because those, okay, for example, for condom, we only have 12 manufacturers. All of them I know. So they do any product there, they are certified already lah. That one
So
is,
those on Lazada don't have CE mark because it's imported.
yeah, the overseas straight away come here one lah.
They imported.
Yeah.
And then the clearing center is in Sepang, the hub lah.
Yeah.
The hub clearance center,
Yeah.
they don't check lah.
Yeah.
Just clear the parcel lah.
And the important thing is that they sell less than RM1.
Yeah, the
For 3 pack, 5 pack, yeah,
license Durex from Thailand also, we cannot find the China Durex.
yeah.
The pricing is very
Even Durex from Thailand got the CE mark.
Certificate banyak yang tak ada KK
Yeah.
mark
I
dengan
think
certificate.
is the issue what Mark is
Yeah.
trying to bring out is as long as it's manufactured in Malaysia,
Yeah.
it has gone through the certification.
Yes.
It is the
Yeah.
imported products that is not certified that is through the international cross-border gateway that we are using.
Yeah.
Same goes to even skincare and toiletries. This is what I'm saying.
Same issue, right?
Next slide. No, the other one.
Go back.
15 days. Oh, that's invoicing.
No reason return.
Now they offer 15-day free returns.
So how it works is, say you buy something, within 15 days, say you tak mahu beli barang, you can return the item back. The problem is, the courier fee is charged to the seller.
Saya nak tanya kalau you beli barang daripada China, ada 15 days return tak?
Shopee, yes.
Shopee ada?
Yeah.
Lazada tak ada?
Shopee ada, but Shopee handle the items. It's not the China seller.
Kalau barang daripada China ada 15 days tak?
Yes, but Shopee Malaysia yang handle. It's not China seller.
So kalau I beli barang daripada Shopee, platform Shopee lah, barang tu daripada China. Okay, saya bagi contoh Cover ni Malaysia tak boleh beli sebab dia macam ni. I suka pakai cover ni sebab macam ni lah. I pergi jogging dan sebagainya kan. So cover ni is from China. Clearing space is Guangzhou. I want to return this item. Boleh?
Dia ada dua type. The first one is, say, private seller like me from China. I want to sell Malaysia. I can go into a special platform, which I fulfill the item. I send to warehouse Shopee Malaysia, and the rest of it Malaysia handle. The other one is Shopee, barang China whatever, diorang handle sendiri. That one you cannot return. They sell it. Dia punya sendiri, you cannot return.
I ada sebab kenapa I tanya. Sebab barang ni dia direct daripada China, tak boleh refund. So bermaksud there is an imbalance, like what you wrote lah. There is an imbalance of in-house rules where items from Shopee China cannot be refunded, but items from Shopee Malaysia can be refunded. So peraturan tu tak sekata, dia tak sama. So when you do a recommendation, they have to adopt one single policy. So bila dia adopt one single policy, because China Shopee tak boleh refund, bermaksud China Shopee Malaysia pun tak boleh refund. That it will settle your problem. You nampak tak? Right now they compare you 50 days, unless the barang is really rosak lah. They take photo, whatever you prove, then you refund lah. Then of course barang rosak, the seller have to absorb lah. Barang rosak lah. But if the barang tak rosak, I datang I nampak, I tak suka hitam lah, nak hijau, I refund lah. It cannot be what, just because I don't like the colour what.
Shopee currently around that.
That is why I say, in order to go around the system, you see, I have been in the framework. This is called legislation framework. I have been in the framework for so many years. I understand how to go around the system. You argue with them, they will say, no, that is Shopee China policy, this is Shopee Malaysia policy. So you cannot argue with that, because chicken and egg you cannot argue. Sorry, apple and orange you cannot argue. One is China, one is Malaysia. In order to win the argument, you operate in Malaysian shore, you operate in Malaysian law, you need to have one standardized policy. So if your Shopee China exporting to Malaysia, no refund. Shopee Malaysia also no refund. It has to be standardized. So you argue to that way, then only you can win the argument. So if Shopee say I cannot agree, then no problem, kita dapatkan perintah menteri. So either you do it or we get perintah menteri. So if menteri give a perintah, they have to follow lah. Kuasa menteri mah. You see how we argue the paper? Carol, you can understand. This is called legislation framework. So sometimes as a businessman, it's important to know the framework and how to go around it. You keras macam ni, no, 15 days, you will never win the argument one lah. You leave this room, bitter lah. The fella argue with you, the fella you argue with the fella, you cannot lah. So you must go around the system. Alright. I've been doing this job for 15 years lah, so I know. Okay. So Putri, that is a recommendation. Next.
Where they go back to the previous slide, where they go to number 2 place where they implement the invoice, right? Where there's a refund, right? I don't know how your refund works when it comes to e-invoicing. Go headache or not? Got right? Okay. Then you go to the next slide now. Now there is a COD platform as well, COD option as well for some of the sellers. You have to tell us what is your issue when it comes to COD, because if COD comes to me, I won't pay. Because I know I will pay online. I don't know what am I paying for. So how many of you do have to practice COD? Compulsory in Shopee. Some on Lazada also. And TikTok as well?
TikTok you can.
But the chances of return, ada banyak tak?
Banyak.
Ini ya.
Okay. My experience
Another problem is when you do it slowly, when the delivery they are not finding the person or they not going, they say there is no person there.
Oh.
So the customer will ask us, where is your stock? I'm there. I'm every day at home, but no people sending it.
Okay.
So that's the argument there.
They have to
Pay upon
Pay on the spot.
Cash on
Cash on
delivery.
delivery.
No, who have to pay COD?
You.
Customers.
That means
We
we don't,
pack, we send
when
to
we
buyer.
place an order on Shopee, so the seller don't collect any money. Only when the goods is being delivered to the buyer, they will collect cash from the buyer.
Last 14 days to release the payment.
So okay, let me get the process right. I saw on WhatsApp, then my mind somewhere else. So I'm a bit tired today because morning got Pemudah event now, Pemudah. So so you sell the item online, the buyers buy online, so they don't pay by credit card. So when they deliver the item, they have to pay cash. So these people collect cash. So then the platform provider, riders collect cash. Alright, then they bank in or they give to the accounts department. Then the platform will give you in 14 days. Am I right or wrong? Okay, so where's the complaint here?
The issue is one is joint buyer lah, and the compulsory of COD option.
Okay, because I don't see a problem here because the buyers has an option to pay online, either through maybank2.com or CIB Clicks, or to pay through credit card. Okay, they doesn't want that two options, so that's why they pay COD. Because they have an option to choose. If you go Shopee, Lazada, they have an option to choose credit card, FPX, or COD. So what is the issue with COD?
Mention your problem just now.
COD when the person they buy choose the COD, then the deliver person, they didn't go and deliver it. Then they say the person is not at there. So means that you cannot get the cash.
Okay. Previously, the seller have the right to choose whether we accept COD or not. But now, we are being forced to accept. It's compulsory.
Okay, so your issue is when the rider hantar barang, the receiver is not at home or office to accept. So therefore, there is no COD transaction lah. And then they have to bring back your barang to the warehouse. And then
It's just a delivery. Then the buyer said they are at the home. The delivery man no come. No argument there.
And if your item is finished before being returned, you have to pay the cost.
You have to pay the cost some more.
And some when you return
return, like let's say we sell FMCG product, food product, return to any damage, Kit Kat chocolate, so any damage.
Actually, the point is we want to raise that the seller should have a right to choose not to have COD. We should have the right. The buyer can have the right to choose whether FBX, Visa card, or even COD. But we can choose. We don't have
recommendation.
issue.
Satu ikut dua, kita recommend tak ada COD. Yang kedua, internal policy platform bila dia sampai dia kena call. Dia kena call, dia kena internal policy lah kita recommend lah. Sebab ini internal policy tu.
Normally they will call.
Dia kena call dan lepas tu bila si driver pula tuduh kata tak ada orang kat rumah dan sebagainya, dia boleh screenshot call. So dia ada bukti. Dia ada bukti. So you also have to be fair to the you also have to be fair to the platform.
They will take photo of the place.
I understand.
They should take a photo that
Why are you
they
not
accepted.
accepted? They change their mind.
Yes, they can change their mind.
So it's another internal policy of the platform. If buyer doesn't want to accept, they will still be charged a delivery fee for non-delivery. So that's another recommendation, Putri. They will still be charged a delivery and non-delivery. So you enhance the process.
I think let's say normally we buy in the shopping center or hawker center lah. Buyer have the ability to choose our choice, but the seller also can choose whether they want to accept COD or not.
That's the point.
I agree sebab if you nak say credit card, FPX, second payment, COD. COD dia paksa kita ambil, tapi for say installment plan, dia orang dia bagi
Senang je lah.
So they try to sign you.
Like you see a hawker center cash only.
Senang je
That's all thing
lah.
lah.
Buat memo bagi kat Fahmi dengan Gobin, kita ban semua COD.
Not saying we want to ban it, we still allow it, but we as seller we want them.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yes.
But when it comes to human, there is prone to be error. When it comes to human, they're prone to be error. We are not perfect. They're prone to be error. No matter how we try to perfect the process, there is still so that's why I say if you meet the platform, it has to be a middle pathway. So there's a win-win situation. But end of the day, even though we try to legislate for you to ease your business processes, there's still to be error. I'll give you an example. My personal experience. I registered Microsoft 365. 1 month 30 plus ringgit for my daughter. Then my daughter changed laptop. After changed laptop, daddy went and bought a full suite. So no need So I tried to go to Microsoft Office website to cancel the transaction, to cancel the auto invoicing. Cannot find the button. Cannot find the button. Okay? Don't ask me, cannot find. After 2-3 months try, cannot find. But they still bill every month, even though no sign. Alright? So it's human error Either that side human error, don't know where to hide the button for me to cancel.
Yes.
I human error, 5 cannot find. So what I do? Call credit card center, cancel the card. After cancel the card, suddenly Microsoft in 1 week time email you. Cannot go through transaction, so you ignore it. So it bound to happen. So I'm just trying to say is that we will take your feedback, we will give it to them. But how what she said, customer cancel the order. I think it's fair. If you cancel the order, you still pay for the delivery fee. And how is it? Because your account already have a credit card attached to it. Your credit card already attached to it. So just
Some no. Some buyer don't.
Some buyer don't have.
Yeah.
So that's the thing lah.
Because actually, Shopee open this is to tap those on the market.
Bagi air, banyak cakap dah. Air tak nak teh.
Maybe just another option.
I think this one has no clear cut answer. This one has no clear cut answer. If you don't allow COD, it's also contravene with the human rights act.
We are not allowing. We want to choose whether we can allow.
Understood. There is a reason why Shopee probably allows COD.
They want to follow China.
It's because it contravenes human rights. Yes. I don't have a credit card. Yes, I see Chris Sitos koyak already mah. It doesn't, but my right, I still can buy COD. You understand? No?
Customer can bayar at 7E.
Huh?
Customer can pay at 7E.
Yes.
So you have a point. So it's see, this argument no win no lose one. So you must come to a middle point.
But to be frank, we used to have the option to choose. We used to have it last 2 years.
But they want to serve the undeserved group. For example, my daughter doesn't have a credit card. She's 16, so she choose COD delivery. So is to reach out to the undeserved group. So you must understand the policy, but your argument has a validation. So probably there will also be another button, recommendation. There's another button. You are above 18 years old, which means that you have payment wallet, you have credit card or debit card. Agree? If you choose not to accept the item, with the exception of 40, you still have to pay for the delivery cost on your own. So if you cancel, you pay for the delivery cost. So it's another option that we need to give to the platform. So there's a win-win situation between you and them. If you force them down, you will not win because they are the platform owner. So there must be a win-win situation.
So what happens if the buyer is not at home? Then they charge to the seller. They just can say that I'm not at home. It's not that I choose to cancel. I'm waiting for the product. Or maybe sometimes the courier didn't send.
I think there should be an option where, let's say, in that scenario, we can go like post laju, you go there and collect our parcel and pay at the service point.
I do
think
agree.
there should be an option, but I don't think there's any option now.
If there's an attempt to send,
correct.
If there's an attempt to send and the charge to the seller already, then there will be no more. Like post laju, they send one time, no more already. You just go and collect.
Yeah, you just collect. You just leave a note. Say please go to your nearest.
So that's the best practices. You can tell the platform you follow post laju processes. They send one time, don't collect. You go to the center and collect.
But the problem is they don't collect, they don't want it. So what happened? The item sits there.
That's COD lah. There's no problem. But if it's credit card, you will go and collect one. You're charged.
Because it paid already. Yeah, exactly.
But there's also a problem, like I say, if I'm a food product, if a chocolate product, they don't collect, I go back, it's perishable, it's again. I close my immediately, I lose my product fees. So for us, FMCG products,
Recommendation lah. Perishable products shouldn't have COD.
Yes.
Recommendation. Recommendation.
I agree.
Carol, not easy answer picture. Hey, by the way, my position is pro bono. I don't get paid one.
And also the reason, the introduction of SLA, where last time the sellers, you have to tell, because I'm not involved in selling very active. They are now platform providers. Are platform right now asking them to also pack on Saturday for the courier to come.
I think it's not that Saturday. It's just they give you incentive if you drop it on Saturday.
We will be penalized if we don't drop it off.
I lost 1K because of this policy.
If your office don't work on Saturday,
We'll be penalized.
This one I agree. If you are only Monday to Friday, so their policy also have to accept this under labor law. I see now I come from a different angle. So under labor law, you don't work on Saturday, Sunday. Bosses work lah. Staff work.
Bosses work.
You pay double labor. So Shopee have to understand national code. The national code law. Staff don't work on Saturday, Sunday. Therefore, you cannot hack or you cannot send out Saturday, Sunday. So that's something they have to follow because it's a national code law.
But I think it's again we want choice. We want choice. Some of us maybe work Saturday, some of us do but some of us don't. We just have. There was a button last time. Working hours one day, Monday to Friday. That one we got. Now we don't have. There are forces.
I said we try.
We are not asking too much just to revert back to
I should stop you there. It's asking too much. You know why? While here is a choice for the sellers, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. The other side is a planning of manpower for them. We also have to understand that the platform provider are private sectors. When there's a choice of Saturday, Sunday, they also have to incur overtime pay for them on Saturday, Sunday, or double pay. So when I sit here, I'm sitting in the middle. No? If you pack on Saturday, they also have to pack on Saturday, which means they also pay double or overtime on Saturday. Fair not? So sometimes you have to come to a unified code. Either you do it or you don't do it. You understand, right? Because they are also private sectors, like you all. So they also have the challenges like you all. If I may say this openly, I think the platform you are referring to is Lazada and Shopee lah. Except Lazada and Shopee, any other else?
TikTok shop.
TikTok.
Follow once. Only follow. Always Shopee first.
TikTok shop already announced their TTS is 1 day. TTS is 1 day starting next month, I think.
So it's a very difficult situation. They also incur overtime. If I am a policy maker, I will just recommend one thing: unified code. Either you do it or you don't do it. I'm not saying you do it. I'm not saying you don't do it. I'm just saying follow a unified code. Because they are also private sectors. And if I may say very openly, it's an open secret in the market. Lazada and Shopee until today still losing money. Alright, not?
Yes.
So they will say that hey, your sellers still make money, although your margin is not high. But we Shopee and Lazada lose money. If I close shop, you go on for nothing. So
I think Shopee turned green last year.
So it's okay. As a financial person, although Shopee turned green last year, but their equity is still negative. That's over the years they lose money. My statement fair, no?
Okay.
It's fair statement, ma.
Next slide.
This one I agree with you lah. MCFC regulations mandate that you can choose lah. So this one we fight for you lah.
Certification. We talk about the certification issue, the one Mark raised just now. Yeah.
Not only that, actually,
Unauthorized existing.
for the product certification, I would like to raise this because especially for those of us who manufacture our products in Malaysia, I have an issue with MOH. Because certain products are, we see that there's disparity between what can be registered, the same product name, I call it the naming convention, the same product, if it is registered, if that product is imported from overseas, example, diaper cream, they can accept. But for us, MOH, if I put diaper cream, we are out. We cannot register a product under diaper cream.
But import can.
Import. Then I brought it up to MOH and they tell me, oh, this is overseas brand, so they are famous, then we cannot trace it. So you should memudahkan the entrepreneur in Malaysia.
Yes.
So this is the challenge that I face.
We go to the next slide. What is this one? This is the essence.
So the update is more on, go back to the previous slide, the update is more on licensing, certification.
Unfair certification imposed on local compared to versus imported products of the same product.
So that's why the national code must prevail. You cannot, so this is something that we can fight for. You cannot impose a foreign national code. I use the word national code, not law, because that's how we talk. You cannot impose on local seller foreign national code. So the standard is always our local national code. So our standard is SIRIN, KKM.
Yes.
So that is our local standard. So that one we can argue. Because this is lebih lah. Because just because Europe got this standard, you want to follow. So it's lebih lah. So this one we can fight for you all.
Next slide.
I think we didn't discuss on the return without fund thing.
Where? Which one? Previous slide. Previous slide. Number 6 or number 7?
Back some. Yeah, the return without valid reason. I think we didn't discuss about this just now.
This is something that I read this. I understand. I want to respond. This is the problem that created by Zara, H&M. If you don't like, you can return anytime 15 days. So it's very market driven. You see, it's a very market driven issue. If I buy this cup from IKEA, for example, Isetan, high class, but I'm not using it. The price tag is still here. After I put it one week, I don't like it. I bring it back to Isetan. I say I want to refund. Isetan refund. So it's a very market driven issue.
But for this, I would like to highlight also for FMCG products, especially perishable.
FMCG cannot.
I don't know these products.
FMCG cannot.
Electronics also facing a set. For example, printer ink, they open up the box. This model, sorry I bought wrongly, but they say change of mind. That's it.
That one cannot lah. Once you open, cannot lah.
Yeah, but whenever we
But
platform,
Shopee-
they will say it's applied throughout the whole
Yes.
platform, cannot change.
Yeah,
by
So in order to circumvent this policy, there must be a middle point where seller would tell the platform, my product, you cannot do 15 days refund just like that. So it has to be detected like that.
I think we did mention, but we
That's why I'm trying to facilitate lah. That's why I'm trying to facilitate lah. So it must be logic. Perishable item cannot. Because I send the chocolate, coming up from the fridge still keras mah.
The time return to
By the time I send it to the blade, by the time you send back, it's rosak. So it's logic. So there must be certain middle point lah for perishable items and electronics or maybe clothes you took up the name price tag, then you try it already. I know one doctor, I don't mention him, very famous one.
Will you tell me later?
He went to London with me. I went to London with him. So he went to Burberry. He wore, no? Hey brother, I won't open, no see the price tag. I wear one night. If I don't like it tomorrow, I return back. What people like that one, no? People like that one.
Like I think that is fair lah. Like I go decathlon, I buy a shirt, then I come back, I realize I cannot wear it, but I already cut off the tag already. Because the tag is so big, impossible I can wear it.
So I'm in a position whereby the option should be from you guys, whether you want a refund policy or no. So it's very seller and platform driven lah. It's a yes and no lah. But if you cannot accept it, then I think based on national code, perishable item definitely cannot. Item has been opened, just like any shopping mall, also cannot.
Yes.
But if let's say they say that they still want the policy, if item that has not been opened, then can.
Yeah.
Okay, but the shipping cost will go back to the buyer, because they themselves make a choice not to take the item, even though they decided to buy the item. To me, it's the same argument. The argument is this, the argument is this. I drive my car to a shopping mall. My petrol, my toll probably 7 ringgit, 8 ringgit. So the logic would tell me the shipping is only 6 ringgit. You drive your car, pay toll also 7 ringgit. Your shipping is 6 ringgit. Say, brother, 6 ringgit lah, don't argue lah, correct lah. So that's the logic lah.
But coming to the next point, so there are some buyers are even allowed to keep the items. So they will refund, Shopee will refund the items to the buyers, and then after that, the sellers we don't get back our product. So I confronted Shopee a lot of time, but we didn't get a lot. I think we got like 5-6 orders. I think because this thing just started, I think beginning of August.
Contohnya ini, betul. Bila you return barang, satu shipping cost ditanggung. Yang kedua, barang rosak, barang perishable memang dia kata tak boleh ni, tapi dia tetap refund. And certain items, I think below 15 ringgit, customer get to keep the item.
Yeah.
15 apa? 15 ringgit.
Actually more than that because
I don't know how much, tapi
yeah,
50 ringgit kot.
some of my items about 80 plus ringgit also buyers get to keep the item and then the refund is just
I'm a very good buyer. I never return stuff.
But I pay my shipping.
Even you dispute to the Shopee agent also like talking to the wall.
I think this will be a trend in like China. They only we call it 仅退款. We don't need return. The buyer don't need to return the goods. Then they refunded. Yeah.
But those costs covered by marketplace because marketplace will protect the
Oh.
Did you check your back end?
No, Taobao they cover.
仅退款 is 拼多多 and TikTok, Douyin. These two platforms is doing it. Luckily, while I see the news today, they are cracking down on it. Like full force crackdown. Yeah, we are supposed to do the same thing.
Even Shopee said bila barang dah return, you nak claim balik the duit post, supposedly boleh, but very hassle man, and sometimes if you tak
Kita kena seperti yang saya sebut tadi, kita kena dapatkan titik tengah. Pada saya sebaiknya siapa yang nak ikut polisi tu ikutlah. Siapa yang tak nak ikut tu tak ikutlah, dia ada option lah. Tapi kalau tak ada option, then setengah barang dia kena tak boleh. logik kan. Perishable item tak boleh, electronic item tak boleh, barang yang dah dipotong tanda harga tak boleh. Barang yang dah pakai walaupun tanda harga tu you ambil, you bawa ke tiak kan, orang dah pakai kan.
Yeah, so I think this is a very, like what you say, scammer's haven. Like you buy a thing, 5 ringgit, you don't like it, Shopee decide not to return it to you. Yeah.
Buy to earn money.
And you buy to earn money, let's say, even say Shopee say, I will drop this seller after 5 times. Then,
I told one thing before, 2016-17. You go out for e-commerce, 6 months later, you sure about this problem. Remember I told you at one thing?
Of course. Sure.
And also personally, I pull out from Tmall because of all this reason. Tmall.
Tmall, 10 mile.
Yeah, because they keep on, because if we do something like that, they return with no reason, we have penalty. So it eats into my deposit.
Next slide.
Okay, discuss anything else. I think that one is the policy of the Monday to Friday one.
Yes.
This is the evidence.
Yes. Imposed when was this? August
August 1st.
August 1st. Baru.
National pun lah, lewat saya nak qualify level 1. Next slide.
Oh, that one I wrote one.
Next slide.
This is the same lah, next slide. This is the same lah,
Yeah,
next slide.
same. And also this one, I talk about the KKM, they come in without CE mark.
This is the C mark and the
don't have.
Same lah.
Yeah, but I saw they only had 9,001.
What is this?
This condom
Condoms.
When I look through the site, I thought this one.
Okay, they need to have 2 things, 40474 and 13485. These two. I'm on the committee of 4074.
Bila kita panggil engagement, kita kena panggil custom sekali.
Yes.
Kita panggil custom, kita panggil sirim.
Agree.
Custom sirim lagi apa? MCMC. Apa tu dia tulis lah, MCMC, custom sirim. Lagi siapa? Lagi siapa kau nak panggil? Ha? Apa?
KDNP.
KKM.
KKM.
Kita panggil KKM enforcement. So KKM, sirim, custom. Lagi satu.
This under NDA.
MCMC.
NDA.
Lagi siapa nak panggil?
KKM lah.
Dah 4 lagi siapa nak panggil?
Department lah.
KM, Sirim, Customs. Betul lah.
What other wish list you have? Siapa lagi nak
Who
panggil?
wants you want him to attend this meeting?
KDP.
KPDN, KK.
That one.
KPDN, HPP. KPDN, HPP.
But
Kementerian Perdagangan dalam
that one is more on enforcement. I believe that they have the power to enforce, not to check our gas.
Because border import very hard for us Malaysia to
MCMC.
Itu MCMC.
Under MCMC.
Cross border there will be the
Panggil sekali
record.
post.
Yeah.
Sebab
It's
dia
not
yang
reporter.
handle warehouse post.
Yeah.
Bukan post lagi post.
Okay.
Panggil sekali post.
Post lah.
Maka bilik atas tu majlis boleh duduk 5 orang.
Next slide.
Okay, next update. Yeah,
Same
say.
problem with the shipping, right?
Yeah.
Can go to
Next.
Recommendation.
Who here is about to get penalized because of your working on a Saturday?
More become normal already.
Oh.
Yeah,
Lucky I'm almost there. I lost 1,000 ringgit.
Do one more, I kena already.
You lost money.
I lost money. Lost the order. Yeah.
Wow.
I kena once. That somehow that day a lot of orders.
I don't know why all
I
buyers
lost
said
that.
they are buying the repeat. I was like, oh my god.
You.
I wanted to ask, can you guys but you cannot use the cancel word again. So,
Yeah.
can you guys place a new order? What do you mean by place new order? Are you asking me buy 2 or 1?
Yeah.
These are purely recommendations only, Chris. I don't know whether you have looked at it or not. Strengthen import controls. Platform should provide e-invoicing guidance for sellers.
I cannot comment on invoicing. I need to get pass from that chuan.
Provide tax incentive, especially for brand owners.
Soalan ni, Putri, minit ni, soalan ni nanti suruh siapa? Sus ataupun Farah email dekat Datuk Chua lah, minta komen dia. Comment on e-invoicing support dengan tax incentive. Minta komen tu lah.
Yeah, and then we have no updates on de minimis as well. Our de minimis is still under 500. The tax on
What? Sorry?
de minimis. So that means we as buyer, we buy things from outside, let's say Amazon and all that, Tmall and all this, right? Anything below 500, we don't get taxed. But there is a low value goods tax. We don't know whether that one is being empowered. I buy online overseas, but I don't get that tax. Above 500 got tax.
Understood. That's why Indonesia, I
100%.
mentioned Indonesia. The reason why Indonesia do this, they tax low value good,
Yep.
is because they are protecting the local industry.
Yes, correct.
Indonesia has traditionally been a low value factory for the world. Jamu, teh botol, alright, kacang, snacks.
Yeah.
Let me ask you lah, can you name me one Malaysian snacks?
Yeah, yeah.
Mami, selain daripada tu?
Oring.
Meow meow.
Tak banyak. Tak banyak actually. So we are an importing nation. So that's why it doesn't make sense for us to impose a low value tax. But Indonesia and Thailand is an exporting nation of these low value goods. That's why they have to protect the industry. So if we were to recommend to minister to do a low value import tax, is counterproductive. Then the value of goods become even higher. Imagine if you want to buy a pack of crackers, the premium one that you get in Benz, probably 10 ringgit, 12 ringgit, but because there's a 30% tax, it becomes 15 ringgit. So at the end of the day, the consumer will pay more of your including you. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a reason why the minister doesn't impose low value good tax, especially things from China. This cover is from China. This from China. This probably from China. Most of the things are from China. These things from China. Most of the things that we use in China. So do you see the logic now? So this one I cannot fight for you.
Actually, it's under number 5, our recommendation, strengthen import controls. Items that come in should be need space. If Malaysia do not produce the item, it should be free to come in instead of a blanket tariff.
Again, if Malaysia don't produce the item, you want to impose a tax. If Malaysia don't produce the item,
only if Malaysia don't produce the item.
You want to impose a tax.
If the Malaysia don't produce the item, don't impose a tax because we don't have
But if Malaysia produce the item,
we impose a tax
Cannot. You know why I say? We export 85% of our onion. 85% of our onion. This one cut across industry one. Because in Cantonese what we say yao yong hok yong right? When one ministry do this other ministry start to do. You know why not? Kita boleh buat ni, kita ada revenue lebih. Then the tax man say, boleh kita buat lagi. That's why a lot of taxes has go out the last few months. You also marah especially 6% to 8%. Correct? Then our import tax at Pelabuhan Klang also came out. Everything naik. Construction material also naik. Cement cost also naik. And that is what happened when one segment of the industry do it, the rest all follow. Onion is a very good example. We consume the most onion every day, right? Until India last 6 months says that their own internal consumption tak cukup. So they reduce the consumption of onion, export of onion. So onion price become expensive. Do you know that actually?
Don't know, I don't take onion.
No, not because you don't take onion, because you don't go into kitchens. That's what you do. Right? Okay. So the price of onion went up. So if we impose tax on things that we produce onion, but only 15%. But the 85% we impose, I'm just giving a narrative only. So everything, all the prices will go up. So there could be a different way of tackling this. There could be a different way of tackling this actually. I would rather give another solution.
Reciprocal policy.
Sorry?
Reciprocal policy.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Reciprocal policy. So we have to think of it. We have to think of it. What reciprocal policy we can have for imported goods.
Okay.
All right. So you also be mindful, while enterprise business is for profit, you also have to be mindful. You recommend this, hantam on the people, you also kena balik. So you have to be mindful of this.
Should be reciprocal policy.
Any other things before we go to the next slide?
Tax export rebate.
Export rebate.
Number 6, possible to introduce export rebate. So basically what we see so far, overseas, some country, they give a very quite generous tax rebate. So they are able to reduce their costs.
How do they reduce the cost?
As in, let's say they are producing at 50 ringgit. We are producing with 50 ringgit. When they export, they get tax rebate. So they are that amount of percent of advantage compared
Tax
to our
rebate.
Yeah.
Okay, how
This
do
one
I
can or
apply
not?
it?
A lot. Some people told me cannot, but we throw it out and see
Okay,
how.
why people tell you cannot? I reply on behalf of them.
Okay.
The reason why China has been slapped with a lot of import tariff is because of this.
Yes.
EU and US have been slapping China a lot import tariff
Yep.
because 2 reasons. First, the goods that they produce, they receive subsidy. Okay, back in the 90s and early 2000, a lot of goods that we produce locally, they receive subsidy.
Yep.
What for subsidy? Last time SME Corp got machinery grant. Machinery grant, $500,000, $1 million grant. You take the grant, you buy the machine. So actually, you got no depreciation cost.
Yep.
Your balance sheet also got no outlay of cash, correct?
Yep.
So that's a form of subsidy. So that's why the US at those time categorizes as tier 3 alert. So China has been doing that. They subsidize on the production. The other subsidy that China has been doing is actually the tax rebate for the export. That's why China EV has been slapped. Now China complained. The point of remark that I want to make is China complained that US and EU slap, but did China make a formal complaint to WTO, World Trade Organization? They didn't. Why? Because if they know they make a formal complaint to WTO, should lose one. Because in the first place, they are not supposed to subsidize their export rebate, tax rebate, and also their production. So it's counterproductive. So like what you said, reciprocal just now, we have to think of something else. We don't have the answer today, but think of something else and throw inside the group, then I can think. This one have to get Datuk Chua opinion. He's a taxman, so he's better.
He's from where?
He's from the Malaysia Audit Association. He's also the non-executive chairman for Speedmart that just recently launched their pre-IPO.
Okay.
Very knowledgeable man on this area. I cannot reply you because I don't want to be quoted. So it's better that we sit down with him and get his reply.
Oh, that would be lovely. Is that?
Okay.
This one
Okay.
We are here talking about legislation, regulation, not about promotion.
Yep.
Promotion is not our department. So here is more of regulation. Promotion is actually MIDA and market.
Number 10 already. Remove monopolistic practices. I think we covered it somewhat. Anyone want to raise anything else?
What issue?
Monopolistic practices. We talked about it just now already.
Monopolistic.
Yeah. You know who wrote the red? Who wrote the red one?
Okay, next up.
Okay.
Next slide for number 8, right?
Number 8, go back.
For number 8, let's say promote Malaysian products to cross-border. I think one thing that we always face here is that it's so easy for China products to come in, but it's so hard for Malaysian products to go out.
I do agree. I do agree. The reason why because, okay, let me tell you, there's a long story here. We have never been a low value good producing country. When in the 70s, 80s, we started as a middle end manufacturing country. What do we produce as a middle end? We produce engine oil, a byproduct petroleum. We produce gearbox oil, a byproduct petroleum. Does China produce it?
No.
China don't produce it, we export now. China does produce it, but the material is still from us. Glove. China tried to do it, cannot. We produce, so we are actually middle end production. And if you look at Penang, Intel factory produce chip that has been designed in Israel and also in Texas. But now only we're going into IC design, integrated circuit design. Integrated circuit design means a 3D design on the spot you can do. So if you understand our social economy, we are actually a middle producing country. We are not a low value good. That is why we cannot fight the price.
I think the main cost actually comes from the courier portion.
expensive courier.
Yes.
So again, it's back to because China can export here because the state subsidizes their courier. See, the state subsidizes their courier. And in fact, China labor is no longer cheap. That's why you go to China, if you've been to China lately, a lot of people with no job. There's gaji expensive. So in a way, again, it's legislation, no? Reciprocal policy. She mentioned something that we can add is that China should not subsidize the courier services in order for you all to compete fairly. So that is a reciprocal policy.
And also, I went through Timor Global. The tax and the fees there is quite harsh. But if I'm on my Timor account, I want to sell to Malaysia, one click on. Yeah, same address, the people come and collect. Overseas travel.
It's market force.
Market force.
That's
It's
market
not
force.
fair. So
Yeah.
we, as a Malaysian platform, it's so easy for them to come here.
Yeah.
Our
It's
policy
always
are not
Shopee should have one click, then we can go overseas.
For us, go there, they have so
Yeah.
many documents to submit.
Yeah, that's our wishful thinking.
Actually, for Shopee,
Yeah.
even if we are talking on platform and
Yeah.
platform, it has not been managed.
If I
fairly.
if I were to ask Shopee in a meeting, I would just ask them one question. We know the problem. You find the solution for us so that we can compete fairly.
I asked that question before, and they tell me the solution is send your goods to China, and China will ship your goods to other Southeast Asia countries.
Yeah,
Bonded
but
warehouse
that's the
lah.
problem now.
Bonded warehouse lah.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Bonded warehouse lah.
Yeah. And also, I think during MCO time, I seek help from Carol and Martrade. They helped me very much just to pull my goods out from Guangzhou. That is another story I can talk for hours. Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
that's why I say China can able to do it. It's because the state subsidized a lot. The state, the government subsidized a lot of their bonded warehouse, a lot of the courier fees. That's why it's cheap and easy to access. Malaysian people buy things from China, courier is only 5 ringgit or 10 ringgit. Actually, it's not that cheap because China government subsidizes it. Okay, unless PMX can do it, then you're happy lah. So that's why I say the economy has been distorted because there's a subsidy from the state in China. The state means government lah. There's a subsidy from the state because here we are a very open liberal market. There's no subsidy from the state. Here we compete fairly, right? So there's a distortion there. So the reciprocal policy is how can we work with Matrade? How can we work with MCMC or whoever in order to compel them not to subsidize their items when they come out? Then it can compete fairly. It means that, for example, you buy things from Amazon, you pay a full fees of shipping. The price could be $60, but the shipping is $50. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Correct or not?
Yes.
I used to buy sleeping pill in Amazon, so I know one. The sleeping pill is $60, the courier fee is $50. Alright? So if China do that, it means you can compete fairly lah. So that is not that one. The one you have to bring to Minister Rafizi. Then they will bring it to Davos Economic Forum. Like that lah. So it's very high level. That is something that beyond me lah this time lah. But we can bring up the concern lah. We can bring up the concern to Minister.
Time for you to go politics lah, bro.
Kalah lah, confirm. I bertanding confirm kalah. So better duduk sini.
Anything else from here?
They raised that, I don't know, 3 to 4 times. Then finally we adjust the price. Then they tell me, day to ship now 1 day. Huh? 1 day? How? When I have a lot of SKUs to, and I have several different fulfillment center. Now I have to pull everything to one fulfillment, which doesn't make sense. Then the courier service will come. I was like, I have to hire extra people. But at the end of the day, I said, why don't we just quit? It's just not healthy, But retail outlets, I can only cater to KL, Selangor. But if you are looking at e-commerce, I'm actually servicing the whole country. But now you are, because to be very frank, I think everyone started Rakuten days or Shopee or what But after that, it was only during the lockdown that everyone went up. But now it's coming down. But we are already there. My infrastructure is already there. That's why I'm asking: is there anything?
What would be your recommendation?
I know it's very hard, of course, but sometimes. Everyone, I guess marketplace is, I don't know, I don't have the solution, but it's just that everyone, the marketplace, they're trying to si jagam dollar, you know, I want to make some money. Right? Yes, we also want to make some money, but I'm just saying that, you know, a little bit from seller's point of view where infrastructure is already up, my
so
people is already
your
there.
challenges is you have a lot of SKU. You have done your pricing correctly, right? Then suddenly the platform says that you need to ship in one day, but your SKU is in different fulfillment center, so you have staffing issue where you cannot ship out on time. Am I right? That's the issue.
The issue is very favorable to buyers. It's very, very unfavorable, and we see the trend is just going to be like that. And everyone already set up, we are already there. So now it's like, I've got 30 people.
Again, his internal
should I just
policy.
go?
I think the point of discussion with platform provider is that we have to be frank to them, certain items cannot be shipped because the fulfillment center is not here. It's outside, which you can prove. Therefore, you can only do it in 2 or 3 days time. I'll just give an example. So then we present it to them, give and take. They have to, you know, if I sit in this chair, they are here, definitely they will say yes lah. Give and take lah, give and take. So it's more of, you know, I give, you take, he give, I take lah. So it has to come to a middle point lah. This one don't need to go to minister, whatever lah. It's just an internal policy.
But I guess currently where they have grown so much, like Shopee, Lazada, and TikTok Shop is really coming up, but there's no one to actually standardize everything. Can everyone just sit down and so for us it's like own policy. In 2 weeks time we're going to increase this. In 2 weeks time we have no say.
Actually, a bit of if they can sit down together, we are also in trouble. It will be cartel already.
Okay. What I suggest for you to do is, since you come as a group, you go and study the platform policy, Shopee and Lazada. Okay. Then the policy that they have, you write another policy. Following their policy, you amend their policy. So you counter policy. Okay, then we meet again. I read it and compare. Certain things that can do, cannot do, we don't recommend. Switch it back. Certain can do, we fight for it. So when we meet them, so then we will tell them that, okay, this is your policy, this is the counter recommended policy. And Pemudah, this technical working group will be the go-between between platform and you all. So I selama-lamanya kerja lah maksudnya. So then there will be in between bridge lah. There will be in bridge. So I think that will be more constructive, productive conversation to have. Right? Kira betul?
Agree? But don't involve me again lah. You already got the group chat.
I think another thing is also the commission thing. I understand what you mentioned about this market drive and things like that, and it's very hard to determine because it's internal.
Actually, in Europe and Australia, buying online is actually more expensive than buying in store. But over here, because of the Chinaman, Malayman mentality, they burn so much money. The mentality is buy online is cheaper. And also, because I'm that also, they will give what during my cyber sale lah. During my cyber sale, they throw in a lot of incentive. You all can sell cheaper. It distort the whole market. I warned them many years already. You do this, I'm sure this problem will come today, right? And sure, I will sit down there and talk about this problem, right?
But nowadays,
so my cyber sale stop already.
It's no longer cheap.
No. 2017 last my cyber sale. But during COVID, Shop Malaysia. I wrote the paper for MOF. The Shop Malaysia online. I wrote the paper and sent it to Zafro. At that time, it was not a right policy, but we still recommend the policy because the market was so dispirited, dampened. So government had to throw money to lubricate the market a little bit. But I told minister it has to be 1 time or 2 time off only, just to merancakkan balik, to make the market more liquidity, buy and sell. But it's only 1 time off only. So now the education to the market is, you want convenient online, it's going to be expensive. So you see, people in Terengganu and Kelantan, I know of a friend, a very old friend. He resell IKEA items, but 20-30% more expensive. You know what? Print stock lah. He used to sell IKEA item 20-30% more expensive. Say, bro, ada orang beli ah? They are from Terengganu, Kelantan, ma. You think they come here all the way ah? Makes sense, what? So they still buy, no? The 20-30% expensive, they resell. And actually, IKEA knows it, but they don't give two hoots about it.
I think in Shopee also there's a lot of people selling off IKEA stuff.
IKEA knows about it. They don't stop because they know that these people cannot come to KL. So there's nothing to stop for me buying and then resell it as soon as original item. So the education process must be there to actually educate people that actually online is not supposed to be cheap, and it is supposed to be. It's a medium to facilitate.
Good.
You're happy with the discussion? No win, no lose lah. So we have to find in between lah.
And by going back to the commission portion, what I want to say
We will try
is
to
that-
facilitate.
What I'm trying to say is that I think a lot of times it's so-called this market force lah. It's one platform raised already, the other platform to follow.
That's why I said
and all. It's not-
That's why I said but we can actually recommend a cap.
Yes.
We can actually recommend a cap. That will fall under KPDN, HEP lah. We can recommend a cap. Okay? Happy with my answer?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, representative from Pemudah, and also Sus and Putri, Hani here, and thank you, Adrian, for coming. So let me illustrate this again. If you really want a voice of an association, please reach out to Adrian from the Malaysia Digital Chamber of Commerce, that's called MPCC, because I depend on Chris to facilitate.
Delayed. One meeting to another meeting. Carol, you want to facilitate?
Yes, hold on lah. I take video first. I will keep this. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming and for your time. I know this was syndicated since only last week. Because of the timing. I was in KK, so I couldn't make it last week. So we just came back. So Chris gave us a date here. The reason why we're having this is today. Some party of you have already raised a concern about e-marketplaces policies as unfair to brand owners, unfair to you as mall, official mall. Some tell me that 1 year increased 4 times. Now you have to work on Saturdays. Your SLA is being shortened. That means you have to go and pack your goods and all. So complaints like this already put here, projected in the slides, because we are minuting this. So Chris is the chairman, deputy or what? Chairman, deputy chairman. Like later you introduce yourself lah. You say, I am not a formal person, I tell you. So we are here today, and majority of the owners here, Chris, they are all brand owners and also representative of the e-commerce department in certain brands. Some of them are eager to come here without my knowledge also. New people also I never see before. So I leave the floor now to, but thank you for coming. I leave the floor now to Chris to lead this, because I went to him to say that, Chris, there's so many complaints from these e-commerce brand sellers about platforms. Let's come to MPC. Let's bring this forward via the Pemudah. So that's where Chris come in as his voice for you all, for him to bring it to the ministry for your case. But no promises, because some of the issues that you all raised, you have to provide justification. I know some of you have provided justification and resolution, right? But there are some managed expectations, so I have to let Chris to tell you what can be brought up and what cannot be brought up. Chris, the floor is yours.